tutorial for you. Had people asking me about settings for the public build and what I would recommend that they use, as well as people just kind of confused in general about what's going on with Untrusted, how to use these settings without getting untrusted, etc., etc. I already did a video on Overwatch. I'll go over a couple things again on Overwatch in this video, but mostly what I'm going to do is just the settings that I would recommend to get to Global Elite and how to not get untrusted using those settings. One important thing, just making sure that my video is working here. I had a problem with it uploading earlier and it wasn't saving. So, but we don't want to get Overwatched. We don't want to get untrusted. Unfortunately, nothing that I tell you is going to help with a VAC ban. That's up to the guys that are a bit smarter. They do a great job making sure that they're not getting any detected cheats. Because this is primarily for the public build. You guys who are using the public build, you got to be real careful. If you don't want to get VAC'd, you need to be updating every single day. Back when I used the public build, I checked before every single game I played to see if there was a new release out, just in case. You should be checking 2 or 3 times a day if you're playing all day. Before every match is absolutely ideal. If you're just checking once a day, that should be fine. You're probably not going to get VAC banned, but a lot of people are complaining about VACs, and honestly, it's your own fault. You need to be keeping up with the most recent version. Honestly, any type of ban is going to be your own fault here, so just remember that. But I mean, I can help you avoid untrusteds. I can help you avoid Overwatch, so that's what I'm going to try to do here. So here is my settings that I use for the public hack. So first off, there's your ESP, your wall hack. I don't need anything more than that. I don't think that anything else is going to be super useful, and you really shouldn't need a lot anyway. If you're turning everything on the hack, you probably want to consider playing a different game. So I use no recoil, I use TriggerBot, and here's my settings over here. First thing, most important, hold key. You only ever use TriggerBot with a hold key. Do not ever use TriggerBot normally where it just automatically fires for you. I don't use any of this other stuff. You don't need it. As long as you're playing right and you know how to use the TriggerBot, there's no reason to use any of this other stuff. As long as you got the hold key, that's going to get you through it. So I play with a 0 ms delay. One of the things I'm going to go over is how to not get untrusted while using a 0 ms delay. A lot of people have a problem with it. The methods that I use, they work in casual and competitive. However, for the most part, the settings themselves is what I use in competitive. If you're playing casual, if you're playing deathmatch, if you're playing arms race, any of those things, you can have different settings and it's going to work for you. But for competitive, to avoid Overwatch and to avoid untrusted, these are the settings I'm going to recommend. So visibility check doesn't really matter too much. Enemy, angle, hold. Settings, you want to make sure it's hold. Neck and neck, never use head on your bone selection. That's just dumb. That's just asking to get banned. I see people do it and they just get headshot after headshot after headshot, and it's not worth it. Neck's going to get you headshots and body shots. It's going to get you the kills. It's going to make you look like a really good player without constantly getting headshots. So for my legit rage settings, you want your legit as low as you can right here. This is going to give me a little bit of aim assistance without being super powerful. You can turn it up a little bit. I mean, I wouldn't recommend going past about here before it starts looking just unlegit. I mean, obviously it won't be rage, but it's going to be really hard to not get overwatched. For your field of view, honestly, like, you can move it anywhere in here. You're going to be fine. The higher field of view is going to give you a little bit more control, and honestly, a really high field of view with a really low legit setting is going to be fine. It'll work. But again, what you want to do is you want to move this bar as low as you can, and then once you start playing terribly, then start moving it up just a little bit. But the lower that bar, the better you're going to be off. So make sure it's really, really low. So for my aimbot, you'll notice I use aim lock. That's what you want. You want aim lock hold. You want TriggerBot hold. The only things that aren't going to have a hold key is your ESP and your no recoil. And I'll cover no recoil once I join in the game, just to kind of explain to you how to not get not overwatched, but untrusted while using 100% no recoil. because you'll notice I'm at 100% no recoil. And everything else, I mean, I just don't use. You shouldn't need it. It's all pretty dangerous. Don't use B-hops. It's a instant red flag that you're hacking in some sort. Just don't do it. There's no point to it. You're not going to get enough of an advantage. You're just going to look really cool, and then you're going to get overwatched. No flash. It's so hard to play with no flash on and not look like you're not using no flash. So I honestly, I wouldn't even use it. I wouldn't recommend it. With the trigger bot, you're going to be able to get some flashed kills when you really need them because you're using a hold key, but not always. So again, I've got my aimbot set to aim lock as a hold key, so I will never ever aim lock unless I want to. Same with trigger bot. Recoil and ESP will always be on. So I got a game set up with a bunch of bots. We'll go ahead and jump in that, and I'll start showing you some